Hi everyone, welcome to Tony Fox Tarot. Thanks for joining me today and great to have you with me. Today we're looking at whether you can trust this person, and we'll break the reading down by having a look and seeing who this person is. What's their relationship to you? What are the issues that are underlying this particular reading? We'll look at things historically in relation to you and them and what's going on. We'll look at the current, present moment, and we'll also look at a future timeline as to where this is all going. Most importantly, we will answer the question as to whether you can trust them. Now, before you get started, if you would like to go down below and hit subscribe, tap on the bell icon. That'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. Please like and share this video where you can. And if you're interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of information about who it is that I am, what it is that I do, and how it is you can access my service as a psychic tarot reader. Before you on the screen, we've got 4 different cards to choose from. The idea is to choose a card that resonates with you really clearly. Once you've made that choice, that will be your reading. It's fine to choose more than one card if it comes through strongly for you today. And remember, this is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave behind anything that doesn't. Now, we've got card 1, 2, 3, and 4. Taking a moment to be with the cards, drawing in a nice deep breath. And as you release the breath, listening to your intuition, your inner voice, and the energy of the cards. Which of these comes through for you the strongest? Is it card 1, 2, 3, or 4? Now, down below, we've got 4 different timestamps representing each of these different cards. If you'd like to go to the one that you've chosen, I will see you in a moment. Hi everyone, welcome to card number 1. This is your reading and we're looking at whether you can trust this person today. So let's jump in and have a look and see what's happening. Let's start over here with the Empress and the 9 of Swords in the past with the other person. I feel like this person has been pretty heavy going. Everything's very negatively projected in a way where it kind of loads up the situation and makes it very heavy. I don't feel like this person can really get past themselves and what they're absorbed in thinking and feeling and experiencing within themselves, about themselves. There's something very victimized that comes through here with the 9 of Swords. I just feel like this person has always got something going on that's quite dramatic, quite heavy, quite loaded in a way where they trigger very easily into this experience of feeling really maybe depressed or down or very needy at the very least. It's coupled with the Empress, and I feel that this is a situation where this person really wants to be looked after, wants to be nurtured. They can be very demanding in a way where they expect you to kind of, run to their aid, to maybe even be at their beck and call if things go wrong. I kind of feel like they're resting in the bosom of it, you know what I mean? Like they're resting in a place of wanting to maybe wallow or to be with somebody who can put things right for them, somebody who can kind of give them guidance or pick up the pieces in a way where they kind of just, make them feel better. It's a little bit, it feels very immature to me is what I'm trying to say. And I felt that as a consequence of all of this, that it was very difficult to have a relationship with this person in any capacity because it's always about them. They're always going through some experience that demands you to be there in full capacity in a supportive way. And so that draws down your resources, both in terms of your energy, in terms of your time, in terms of what it is that you need to give to them each and every time this actually happens. They have a tendency to think the worst. They're projecting into the future in a way where they are not constructive about what they're looking at. Their point of view is always based on all of the bad things that has happened to them. Here with the Empress, I mean, this could be a lot of conditioning from this person's childhood in terms of their upbringing, maybe with their mother or some kind of maternal figure, or somebody who has parented them in a way to look at things in a kind of very car crash way. It just feels very reckless, and part of me wants to feel for this person, because they're really going through a tough time of Earth and they don't know how to pick themselves up independently. So very burdensome. I felt over here with Temperance and the 10 of Wands, I felt this is more in the here and now, and I feel like this person has kind of come good more lately. You know, like things are a lot more on track in a way where I feel like the relationship with you and them is kind of, it's a little bit more give and take, but they're still really heavy, you know? They're still very much offloading their baggage when they can find an opportunity to do that. I feel like this person feels better after they've offloaded, and it can be about anything. It can be about a bad day. It can be about an experience that somebody else has had that's been really bad. There's no filter there. There's no capacity to kind of like really sift through it and come to terms with what's going on in a way where they just take it on their own shoulders to figure things out for themselves. They don't have any understanding of what limits mean, you know, like, so it's kind of full on all of the time in varying degrees. And I feel like this is a good period with this person. I feel like you're getting along well, and that they're being very personal, and that they're really they are kind of there for you in a way. I think that's the thing, is that at the moment it kind of feels very connected. It still feels like it's a lot more about them, but at the same time, I feel like they are trying to be there in some way that kind of makes this much more personal for you. But what's really tricky here with Temperance and the 10 of Wands, I feel like you're not the only one that has this experience. I feel like everybody has this experience of them, that they turn it on in terms of victimizing their situation, of being overwhelmed in a way where they have other people running around, picking up after them, doing things for them, cleaning up after them, making their workload lighter so that they don't have to feel like they are being burdened by a situation that triggers them into something that kind of spirals into that out of control situation that I've described. And so it's almost like, if you take a step back, it's like everybody's actually supporting this person. And it kind of brings this question into focus as to whether this person is actually using everybody in a way where they're actually just doing it for their own benefit, and that they actually know what they're actually doing on some levels. Again, I just don't feel like this person can deal with anything that is demanding of them effectively. And their immediate reaction is to reach out to you in particular. I feel like you are very specific in terms of this relationship. You're somebody who leans into the experience very readily and kind of helps them out. And I kind of feel it's almost like they're on the take now. It's like, oh, hang on a second, you know, like I'm constantly giving to this situation for you, but I don't feel like I'm getting back in a way where things are kind of balanced. I think also at the moment, I kind of like this situation here with Temperance. I feel like this person actually can be quite sweet about what they're trying to get. It's almost like you don't want to say no to them. Temperance is a health card as well. It's like you don't want to tilt them out of balance so they become, they become unhealthy, or that the situation becomes unhealthy. So it's almost like you're super sensitive to keeping things right for this person. It's like you're treading around on eggshells, trying to make sure that everything's good for them. Over here to Chariot and the 2 of Swords. Looking in the past, I think this is you. I think because you shoot straight from the hip, and I think that you're very straightforward in a way where you like to know where things are at on the level. I think you've been very supportive of this person, especially through historic events where they've really struggled to stand on their own 2 feet. I feel at the same time that this person has crossed over the line for you in a way where the boundaries have become a bit uncomfortable, and that you're kind of helping them. You know, here with the Chariot, you're trying to support them, you're trying to put them on track, but at the same time here with the 2 of Swords, it's like, you know, you've got limits. It's like, I don't have all the time in the day. I don't have all of the energy to give you. There are limits for me, and I feel that you've tried to push back on them in a way where you've actually created a clear boundary for them, drawn a line in a way where you're saying, look, I can't give in to every single demand, you know, because at the end of the day, this never stops. So, you know, there is an awareness with you in terms of what their process is like. I feel like at times you've had to be a little bit defensive with this person. maybe you've had to pull yourself back and not go too hard on them because you're super sensitive to how things are for them in a way where you don't want them to feel intimidated, to feel that you're calling them out. Okay, but if we come over here to the World and the Two of Wands, I think you're at this point now where you're just like really questioning them. You're questioning whether this person is fully on the take and that you have got them completely wrong in some ways. I think you've had a hint as to what they can be like, and you know you've got to sort of strengthen your boundaries. But more recently, it just feels like this person's manipulating you in a very personalized way. And I think you've also seen that they're doing this with other people. I felt here that it's almost like you're watching on from a distance, you're taking a step back, and you're trying to get an understanding as to whether you should continue on the way you have been or whether you should actually call them out, really. I felt a part of me is sort of saying that you're sort of half in and half out. I think part of you wants to say, look, I really feel like I've got this person down in terms of what it is that they're like, that I can't trust them. And another part of you is saying, maybe I've got that wrong. So I kind of feel like it's a bit push-pull, because that person is like this. You can see that here with Temperance. It's a very kind of push-pull relationship. It's constantly assessing the attention between the two of you in a way where they're looking to see where you're at, what you can give. And I kind of feel like with you, you're constantly trying to find the balance with them in a way where you're taking on a supportive role, but at the same time, you're trying to keep your boundaries. So you're kind of in, you're out. You're positive, you're negative. I think for you right now, I think you're hoping that you've got this wrong. That's what I want to say. I think a part of you is also really hopeful that there is a future in this particular connection. I felt this was kind of personal relationship. I feel this could be a good friend or somebody you're very close to at work. It could be a family member. An associate, but I feel like there's more to it. I feel like there would be a lot to lose in terms of the connection if you had to kind of give up on this person for you. I feel like you've invested into them. But where's it all really going? I felt over here with the High Priestess and the Nine of Cups, I don't feel that this person's really going to fully deliver for you in a way where they ever give you the full story of what's going on for them as a person. I feel like they're always hiding something here. You know, like their outward experience or their outward appearance doesn't match with the experience that you're actually feeling inside yourself. I kind of feel like your gut instinct is always sort of saying, oh, something's not quite right here. And this person can kind of come across as actually being quite, you know, like clean about the experience. Like they've got nothing to answer for, but at the same time, I feel like there's something very guarded about them. They're not revealing of a deeper experience in relation to you in a way that gives you like a truth. I kind of feel there's always this question mark over their experience with you in a way that leaves you to think, you know, like there's just something a bit off. It doesn't really hit the target in a way where I feel confident that this person is being fully honest with me. It's like you're feeling like they're taking you for a ride, but you can't. I feel like this person's really good at covering their tracks. I don't feel like they actually leave anything out of order in a way where you would question them specifically. Like there's no evidence to really sort of say they're actually taking you for a ride or being mistrustful in a way. And I had a feeling like there are a lot of other people who know this person who are very supportive of them. And if you were to call them out, it would almost make it look really bad for you. It's like, why are you being, because I feel like over here with the Chariot and the Two of Swords, it's almost like you wanted to go there and then you've kind of pulled yourself back from doing it because I think you don't want to see, you don't want other people to see that you're maybe being a little bit aggressive or intimidating or overly assertive or crossing boundaries that you shouldn't. So for me at this point in time, I kind of feel like this person could be very, it's almost like very, very fake at times. It's like, and I think you see this, but nobody else seems to see it. It's like a very isolated experience for you. You're kind of watching on and thinking, they just don't really ever seem to be genuine, like ever. It's like everything is kind of like it comes as a face value in some ways, if that makes sense. It's like, it's not, there's not a reveal of authenticity is what I'm trying to say. And so I feel like this person's just not going to open up to a deeper level with you about what's going on for them in their lives beyond their kind of immediate needs of you actually servicing, the support that you give them. And there are times where this person could be very calculated in terms of the way that they look and the way that they respond to things. It comes across as very fake. It's like they're acting out all the time. That's what these two cards say to me here. And they're very vague about their intentions for the future with you in terms of what they want and where it's all going. I think also they're not committing here with these two cards to something that's deeper. They're not taking the connection with you to the next level in a way that leaves you to feel that you're growing. You know what I mean? It's very surface level. And if you come down here to the Moon and the Knight of Swords, I felt that the outcome here would be that your instincts tell you not to trust this person. The Moon, it's a really deep seething card in some ways that kind of goes over the gut feelings and instinctual responses. And the Knight of Swords is just like really sort of fighting against what you're feeling. It's like, no, I shouldn't think that. I shouldn't say that. It's like, I think your mind is at odds with your gut. Because there's nothing concrete to substantiate what your feeling is all about here. So you're kind of at odds with it. And I feel like you are saying to yourself that you should support them. But the other part is the other part is saying that you see their game, right? And so for me, I kind of feel like you're going to get really angry about that. I feel like you're going to burst out and actually have it out with this person. Here with the Knight of Swords, I feel like you're spilling over and you're getting really frustrated and angry because you've been keeping on top of this for a really long time back over here with the Two of Swords. It's sort of like, it's coming out here into the future. It's like you're just so frustrated at being caught up in such a mess with this person. Because they're making it look like you're the aggressor, that you have to call them out, that you actually have to say something, makes you look bad in front of everybody else. But at the end of the day, you know that you're right. And I have to be honest with you, I don't feel like you can trust this person as far as you can throw them. I really do feel that this is somebody who is quite manipulative, who works everybody in a way where they get what they want from them, that they don't really try hard or try at all. Quite often, most of the time, if not all the time with you. I feel like they have a very poor conditioning in terms of what it is that they expect of themselves and what is it they think that they're capable of doing in terms of looking after themselves. Here with the nurturing card of the Empress. They don't know how to look after themselves. I mean, that's the reality. That's why they've got you doing it. That's why they've got other people doing it. But this person needs to grow up and figure it out and kind of bust out of this game playing, I guess, mask wearing situation. And I feel like you're right to call them out and to say it. I feel like you're right to say, look, I've had enough of this. It doesn't matter what other people think or feel or how it is that they actually perceive of you. Truth is the truth. And I feel it's come to a point here where it's time to tell them what you think. I hope this reading has made some sense, and if it has, feel free to leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get your feedback. Like and share this video where you can. Hit subscribe, tap on the bell icon, that'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. And if you're interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of information about who it is that I am, what it is that I do, and how it is you can access my service as a psychic tarot reader. Thanks very much and take care. Hi everyone, welcome to card number 2. This is your reading and we're looking at whether this person is somebody who you can trust. So let's jump in and have a look and see. Up here with the Devil and the Five of Swords, I feel looking into the past here with the other person. This is a situation that has unraveled really quickly for me. I feel like this person has gone 0 to 100 in a split second. Everything was cool one moment and the next it just boiled over into something that's quite toxic. I feel like they've been very abusive and that they have been very pointed in pushing you around, maybe bullying you. I think they've had a lot of really nasty things to say that have come across very personal, very spiteful, very small-minded, but at the same time, they're just using anything that they can to make you feel really bad about yourself, about the situation. Very controlling tactics. I feel like this person is standing over you and that it could only leave you feeling victimized and vulnerable. It's intimidating. And I feel like this person has had no filter in that experience, and they've just given you a full toxic overspill that has been saturating for you in terms of the experience. I feel like there's something very personal and nasty about it. It just kind of feels like they've said things that they shouldn't have said, and then once they've said them, they can't take them back. But physically even, I wonder whether for some of you it felt physically threatening. Definitely mentally and emotionally it felt threatening. I feel like there's something very intimidating about these two cards in a way that lead me to feel unsafe, to feel that I don't know where it's going to go next, and wondering what it is that this person is going to do. You know, like, it could even be violent for some people, you know. I don't feel like this is something that you've seen before in this person. It feels like it's come out of the blue. It feels like it's happened very quickly, and it feels like when it did happen, it pulled the rug from out underneath your feet in a way where you didn't know where you stood. It's a total breach of trust in so many ways. This person's pushing you around, but they're also pushing you out of having anything to say, being able to kind of have any sense of recourse. It's not a conversation, you know. It's not like you're having an interaction with this person that is balanced. It's fully one-sided. Down here with the Lovers and the Four of Pentacles, I think the way that you've responded to this person is to become very defensive towards them, both in that situation, but also afterwards. I feel like you haven't stooped down to their way of doing things. I feel like you've kept a very dignified posture, that you're not prepared to let this person set the tone. If anything, it's caused you to feel that you need to set an example to yourself, that you have your own way of doing things, that you won't be caught up in that kind of messy, nasty experience. I feel the shutters have come down for you in a way. This was a close relationship of some sorts. I don't know on what level that is for you in terms of your own experience, but I feel this is somebody that you've known very personally here with the Lovers. I feel like this is somebody you were very close to, or at least had a very good relationship with in a way where you had trust. And that for me is the counterbalance. There's a polarized experience of having had trust and then lost it because of a situation that's spiraled out of control. I think that you've known that you're not wrong here. I get a feeling that you're very grounded, very anchored in your experience and the facts of what it is that's going on. And I feel, despite this person's actions, you've maintained your ground. You've stood up for yourself by not having to say anything in many ways. I get a feeling here for many of you that there are other people who have witnessed what it is that's happened, or at least they've rallied to your cause. They've come in behind you in a way here with the Lovers and the Four of Pentacles. I kind of feel like there is support behind you, that other people have your corner, that you know that you weren't wrong, but other people are also reinforcing those facts. And up here with the Devil and the Five of Swords, I felt perhaps there were other people that had witnessed what it is that had happened. And maybe even for some of those people, they got caught up in it a little bit and got a bit of the crossfire. It was pointed at you though. This is about you and it's about them. So there's, for me, for many of you, there will be witnesses or friends or colleagues, somebody else who's actually seen what's going on, or at least who at this point in time have your back in a way where I think it gives you a lot of confidence to know that. It's important. Up here with Temperance and the Six of Pentacles, at this point in time in the here and now, I feel like this person is reaching out to you repeatedly. I feel like there is an apology here. I feel like this person is saying sorry. I feel like there is remorse. I feel like this person is trying to make a connection with you here with Temperance. And it's, you know, Temperance is a card of healing. This person definitely sees that they need to make things right. I feel that this person has worked through the experience in their own time in a way where they have gotten a balance as to what it is that went wrong for them. And this person knows that they are not only the cause, but also the perpetrator of what it is that went wrong here. They're taking ownership of the situation in a way where they can see that they need to make things right, that they're very sympathetic of what you must have gone through. They've definitely taken the time to consider how you must have felt. They put themselves in your shoes. They're wanting to rebalance this situation in a way where where they make that effort, but also they want you to hear what they have to say. So that's really important. I feel like they're doing that in a number of different ways. I feel like they're reaching out through other people. So they're working through a network of people that you both know, telling the story as it is. They're not trying to bias it in any way, but they're also trying to give further information as to where things went wrong for them, in as much as that they're taking ownership of the fact that they have done something that they need to make right. I wondered whether they're also reaching out for some kind of mediation, somebody to kind of pull this all together in a way where they can kind of get both sides without any kind of bias towards it. Because if I come back over here to the Lovers and the Four of Pentacles, I feel like you blocked this person out. I feel like this is a situation where you're saying, I've had enough. I'm closing the other shutters. You know, maybe that means you've blocked them on social media. You're not taking their calls, taking their messages. You're asking other people not to get involved in a way where this person has any more sort of fuel to kind of add to it. You know, I kind of feel like you've shut down all avenues of communication with this person here in the past. And back up here with Temperance and the Six of Pentacles, I feel like this person is trying to open up those avenues, and they're working very hard on that in a very sensitized way. They don't want to be in your face. They don't want to make you feel like you're being confronted again. They don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. But they're also wanting to say to you directly through other people, or trying to maybe send you a message of some sort, or just trying to get communication through that they're sorry, that they're remorseful, that they can see where they've gone wrong and that they want to make it right. So that they're asking for some level of understanding in a way that helps you to maybe bridge over to them. This feels heartfelt to me. It's not a shallow single note. This person has actually gone quite deep into this experience in a way where they've really seen where they've gone wrong. And I feel like the Temperance card is really important because there's a card of healing and rebalance. I feel like this person has actually worked through this at a deeper level. I wonder whether perhaps they'd actually seek some sort of counseling and work through their issues at a professional level, or at the bare minimum. I feel like they've definitely talked to other people in a way where they've taken other kind of considerations on board, different perspectives, that they've really tried to get a balance as to what's going on by seeing through an objective point of view with somebody else. And it references the past, because here with the Devil and the Five of Swords, you know, this is really toxic stuff. I mean, it's kind of almost like a worst case scenario for a person, you know, where they get so caught up in their own headspace, and where things go so completely wrong, their perspective is so misaligned. But the basis of it is really toxic. I kind of feel like this person has some deep-seated issues when it comes to trust themselves. I think that if they find people breaching certain boundaries, they're very quick to the defense. They're very quick to guard their corner. They're very quick to control other people in a way where they feel threatened, like they're threatening you, but essentially they feel threatened themselves. You know, like I think they feel like they have a lot to lose, and it's a really distorted understanding as to what's going on in that particular situation, because the compensation to go so hard on you says so much about who it is that they are as a person deep down. And I feel here, back to Temperance and the Six of Pentacles, that this person has really tried to address that. They're really trying to find where things have gone wrong, and they're working through their issues. And a part of this process is to kind of make things right. Maybe not just with you, maybe it's also with other people as well. Like it's a part of a kind of almost like a program or a process that is about sort of, you know, making it all good again, you know. So definitely a sense here that there is a heartfelt effort or gesture. I wonder whether for some of you, this person is even sending gifts or cards or some sort of a gesture that actually sort of says, look, I really want to speak to you. I'm really sorry. Again, bare minimum, you're definitely talking through other people and trying to get a message across to you that, they kind of understand where they've gone wrong. Down here with Justice and the Queen of Wands, and I felt this was where you were at this point in time in terms of the response to where they're at. I feel like you're listening to them. You're kind of hearing what they're saying. You're weighing up the facts of the fact that they've come to a new place in their world and they're trying to make everything good. You're listening, but at the same time, you're not listening here. I feel a part of you has kind of moved on a little bit in a way where you don't want to give them the time of day. It's like, I think you had already here with Justice, you'd already kind of put everything into order in terms of making your assessment as to what this person is really like based on the facts of your experience here in the past where things went really wrong. And so going back to the experience, it's like, oh, do I really want to go back there again? Like at the end of the day, I don't really know that I've got anything more to say about it. And also I think it brings up the bigger question for you. It's like, okay, so even if I was to go there, are they ever really going to change? Can I really trust this person? So I kind of feel like you've gone a little bit cold, that you've moved on. I feel also here it's difficult for you to go back to the situation in some ways because it brings up a lot of pain, which I think in some ways maybe you've covered that up. Maybe that's why it's easier to ignore it. Maybe that's also easier why it's easier to take the high road and to kind of rise above it. It's like, I'm better than that. I don't need to deal with this. Or maybe I don't have time for it because at the end of the day, I've moved on. But deep down, I think this was actually quite toxic and difficult for you to deal with at a very core level because you've been really intimidated. You've been very threatened and it has been highly personal as well. I feel like whatever it is that this person has said to you, it's gone very deep. It's gone very deep and it's been incredibly hurtful. And also the fact that you've been put into a space where you haven't felt safe, I think that says a lot. That you feel so vulnerable with this person, have felt so vulnerable with this person is very difficult. So I feel at this point in time, you're not trusting that this person can really step up or that maybe what they're even saying is something that they really mean. Where's it all going though? If you look over here to the Sun and the Knight of Pentacles, and I felt in the distance here with a future for this person, a sense that they would continue to try and reach out to you, that they would be in the background of your life in a way where perhaps you still had something to do with them, that they weren't necessarily at the center of your focus, but that they were there in a way where time and consistency built over a long period of time. I don't feel the answer to the question as to whether you can trust them is in the short term. It's in the long term. Yeah? You need substance over promises. And this person knows that here in the future. They know that they can't just win you back by saying words. That they need to show you the confidence of what's going on here in a way where there is some level of consistency of support, that there is consistency in terms of their attitude, and that you are the one that gets to a point where you feel you're ready to reach back out to them in a way where you're prepared to have some sort of a connection. And I felt that this person would do that in a way where they would just kind of, chip away at things in the background and show you a really positive attitude, interact with you in a way that was really uplifting, give you support when and where you needed it in small pieces, in small bites, in proportion to what was going on to you, in proportion to what you were comfortable with, that they would be really patient here in a way that gave you the opportunity to say what it is that you wanted, how it is that you wanted it, and when it was that you wanted it. Yeah, that they would have all the time in the world for you to do it your way, really. I feel like a really positive attitude building a really good impression over a very long period of time. And when I say that, I don't feel that that's in the next month or the next 6 months or even the next year. I feel like this could be a year or many more years to come for you. I feel that things will build over a long period of time in a way where your confidence begins to come back on track. It's through steadfast actions is what I'm trying to say, but they need to be positively attuned steadfast actions. And I feel that this person will consistently provide those for you in a way where it gives you a reference point that you can't ignore. And if you come down here to the Star and the King of Wands, I think at first you're going to feel really vulnerable with this person and defensive as well. because you're still looking back into the past and you're still very aware of what it is that they did. At the same time, here with the King of Wands, you're witnessing the fact that they're actually stepping up and giving you, I guess, the opportunity to witness a very responsible change in their attitude and their actions. I think in some ways, you're also saying, in time, I'm going to forgive you, but I'm not going to forget what it is that you've done to me. And that a part of me is always going to feel a little bit vulnerable, but I know what I need to do for myself to take a defense on that. That I can't give you everything of me, and that I can't give you all access to what it is that I'm about, but that's on me. I need to take care of myself in a way that makes sure that I'm not put into a vulnerable position again. I feel like you'll listen to them in time, and that you will accept their apology. I feel that you'll get to a point where you make peace with this and that you let sleeping dogs lie. I think also it's an understanding of knowing what this person is really like in totality. There is bad parts, but there are also really amazing parts. They're shown through their actions over a long period of time, which give you consistency of character, which give you a sense that they're making a huge effort. And as a consequence to that, that you mean an enormous amount to them. I mean, you know, what I see here in terms of the way it's going to pan out is that for them to do that, it's a full recognition that they've done something wrong and that they need to make it right, and that they need to, it's almost like devoting to you their time, their effort, their focus to bring things back to a place of a full reconciliation. They want you to trust them, and they want you to do that in your own time. So I do feel that you can trust this person. I really do. I think that this person has had a really rough time of it in the past, and there's a lot of reasons for that may not be aware to you. There is, you know, like some troubled toxicity here in the past, and that may not ever go away. But at the end of the day, this person is aware through their own process that they need to do something about it. So they're trying to make good. I have to say one thing here. The one thing that comes through for me in terms of your character, and which I think you need to be careful of in this particular reading, is there's a tendency to take the higher ground, which at times you need to do because you don't want to stoop down to a poor way of doing things. But it doesn't mean that you're better than them or better than the situation fundamentally, because I think if you take that attitude, if you take that position, it's a long way to come back down to see it from somebody else's point of view. I think this person is reaching out and over into your experience in a way where they're trying to really consider what's gone wrong, you know, and how that may make you feel. And I think perhaps it's really important to also put yourself into this person's shoes and understand that they're not perfect. And that maybe they have had a lot to deal with. And yes, it wasn't right that they did what they did to you, but time will tell. You know, benefit of the doubt is sometimes a really important factor in making any kind of assessment as to what to do in this kind of a situation. And I think that that's very much called for here. Look, I hope this reading has made some sense. And if it has, feel free to leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get your feedback. Like and share this video where you can. Hit subscribe. Tap on the bell icon. That'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. And if you're interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of information about who it is that I am, what it is that I do, and how it is you can access my service as a psychic tarot reader. Thanks very much and take care. Hi everyone, welcome to card number 3. This is your reading and we're looking at whether you can trust this person today. So let's jump in and have a look and see what's happening down here with the Star and the 5 of Pentacles. I felt this is a good place to start with yourself. There's a real sense of feeling rejected and let down. A lot of disappointment in these 2 cards for me. I feel like you've taken some kind of a hit from this person in a way where you're feeling, yeah, like out of pocket. You know, that could be material. It could be just psychological or emotional. Yeah. There's a sense of feeling like something has been done to you, that you've been pushed aside, that you've been treated in a way that's really unfair. This is a very vulnerable position. I kind of feel it's almost like a feeling of exploitation. It's like somebody has taken me for something here. The twist in this for me is it's like you're giving yourself a really hard time. It's almost like you feel like you're the one that's done something wrong. What have I done to deserve this? perhaps I've done something that has brought this on, you know, like it's a real sense of, you know, like a low point. It's a really low point for me here. I just kind of feel like you're feeling very down on your luck, and there's no comfort. There's no security in this situation. I get a lot of worry, a lot of vulnerability, but what comes through very strongly is that you're giving yourself a really hard time. A lot of self-reproach in a way where perhaps you feel that you've brought this on yourself, or feeling that you have put yourself into a position that you shouldn't have, and that it's kind of on you. If I come over here to the Lovers and the Ace of Wands, and this is going back into the past, I feel like you and this other person, this feels like a new connection. I don't feel like there's a lot of history. I mean, maybe it's recent, maybe it's in the last year or the last 24 months. It doesn't feel like a long-term committed connection. I kind of feel here with the Ace of Wands, it's the beginning of something very new, a very dynamic start to two people coming together in some form of a relationship. I mean, that could be intimate, but it could be friendship or work-related. Very open in terms of the interpretation of what that means for yourself. But it's like a really dynamic start. It's like you've come together in a way where there's this kind of newness that brings on like a lot of excitement. There's an intensity to the connection between the both of you in a way where I feel like there's been like an explosion of activity. It's like you're doing all of these things together. You're talking about lots of different experiences and sharing different things with each other in a way that just is very fulfilling and very new and very dynamic. It's quite intense. And for me, it just feels like it's over a short period of time. You know, you're sharing an enormous amount. I feel like there just is trust here. I don't feel like there's a question around whether you should trust this person or the situation. It just feels very natural and unfolding in a very dynamic and explosive way where you're coming together. And I feel like it's two very like-minded people in many ways. It's like there's a lot of shared experiences where you just feel like you've got a lot in common. And in that period of time, looking back, I feel like you've learnt so much from each other, and there's an honesty that comes through here in a way that just says, yeah, like let's get into this, like let's go out and have a drink or do something, or, you know, like talk about something. You're like, there's new perspectives, shared experiences, and I don't feel there's been any care around the kind of finer details as to what this person's really like. You're just taking them for who it is that they are and as it is that it comes. So there's a real buzz around this initiation of it's like a honeymoon period for me. Very uplifting, a really strong positive vibe that makes it feel really right. Lots of giving, lots of receiving without even having to think about it. It's intensive, but it's dynamic, you know, like, so you're into it, right? Very interesting stuff. But then when you come up here to the Devil and the Ace of Pentacles, you know, like this other person, a good place to start for them in the history of what's going on here, looking to the past. I feel that this person has asked something of you that just seems really ballsy, you know, like it's really audacious. It's like, you know, I feel here with the Devil, it's really motivated energy that's pressing into you and looking for something that is of you or that is yours. Here with the Ace of Pentacles, another new beginning. It's a new twist in the relationship that sets a very different tone to how things started out. And I feel here with these two cards that this person has asked for something. Maybe that's material. It could be money. It could be something that you own. It could be something that you could give this person in terms of maybe a professional service or some kind of contribution to their world. It feels very manifest in a physical way. I kind of feel like this person wants something of worth. And the Devil here is definitely motivated by a very pushy, maybe greedy energy that is very suspicious in terms of its nature. I feel that this person has put you into a position where you felt really uncomfortable to say no, because they're leaning into you very hard. They're very motivated. They want what it is that they want, and they're not letting up until they get what they want. And I felt that had changed the dynamic in a very uncomfortable way, and set a new tone within the relationship in a way where it wasn't like it was before. There's a neediness here that comes through here with the devil, a mistrustfulness, a motivated energy that is very much selfish and yeah, self-focused, definitely. It's the audacity. It's kind of like almost like this person's taken you by surprise by asking what it is that they've asked for. There's a lack of sensitivity to what that actually means, how that will set the tone, the fact that it makes you feel uncomfortable. It's sort of next level stuff in terms of like a side of this person coming through that you just hadn't seen before, right? And so it's changed the vibe and put a lot of pressure on you to follow through is what I felt here. It's like I don't feel like I can say no to this person because they're just putting a lot of pressure on me. You know, they're not going to let up until they get what it is that they want. And so here I felt they were just constantly chipping away at it until they got the answer that they wanted. And here with the Ace of Pentacles, I felt like it was a new beginning where you'd given to them what it is that they had wanted. Coming over here to the Fool, in response to where things are at this particular point in time, you know, like I feel here, this person's got what they want. And all of a sudden, they've gone cold on you. They're giving you this huge, wide berth here with the Fool. They're just not giving you the time of day. It's almost like they're either ignoring you or they've become very aloof within the relationship in a way that leaves you to feel, where do I stand? Things started out really amazing. We were sharing so much together and I felt like I could trust you, and then you set a new tone. You've gotten something from me that I felt really unsure about, and now you're just not back to where things were when we started. And it's kind of like, it's almost like I feel they're less involved with you, that they've gone off and they're doing their own thing. They've got another focus here with the Six of Wands. I feel like they're looking down a very different avenue of you know, ideas, and their focus is about moving onwards in some ways. This feeling that they've kind of let go of you. And that they've got a new agenda that's heading in a very different direction, maybe with new people, maybe with you know, like a new focus that just kind of seemed to be non-inclusive of you. I felt that this person was becoming really hard to pin down in terms of either having a conversation with them, to be involved with them on a day-to-day level, maybe to get back what it is that they have of yours. I just don't feel like this person's giving you the time. I don't feel like they're giving you the space. They've become very aloof and they're just kind of lacking that original substance that I described in the beginning. They're not following through on anything that they do commit to. It's kind of very loose. It's all maybe, I'll see how it goes. Let me get back to you. You know, if it's social media, it's you know, like, you know, you're trying to interact, but they're not engaging, you know. It's become very hazy, and it's become another nail in the coffin in some ways, and it kind of compounds where you feel you're at right now. It's like you're feeling really vulnerable. You're feeling like you've been taken for a ride. You feel like you've been exploited. It's like, my gosh, this person has, you know, almost in a very premeditated way, softened me up to get what it is that they want. Now that they've got what they want, they've dropped me like a hot potato. It feels very personal. It feels very cold. You know, can you trust this person? I don't feel that you can trust this person at all. Where is this all going in terms of an outcome? If we look here with the Empress and the Four of Swords, I felt here in the future balance here with this person that they're just going to go cold on you, essentially. They're not giving you back what is yours. Here with the Four of Swords, I just feel like this person is cutting off all communication. They're not engaging with you in any way. They have no intention to address what it is that you had given them, what it is that they should do in terms of responsibly addressing any outstanding issues with you. I don't feel like there's no guilt or remorse here with the Four of Swords. I just kind of feel like this person's just letting it all go. They're just completely ignoring their responsibility. And I feel like it's almost, they're just kind of letting things go in a way where they're just hoping that you won't get back to them. You know what I mean? That you'll give up on them because they've given up on you. And the Empress here is a card of productivity. So I kind of feel like this person has no productive aims, no intention to kind of nurture the situation back to some kind of position where trust has been reinstalled, where they keep up their end of the bargain, where they dialogue with you in a way that gives you some sort of a confidence that they are self-aware and within a process that recognizes what it is that they've done to you. I think by contrast, you're actually a really sensitive person who is very genuine by nature. I feel that this has hit really hard for you because it feels deeply personal and you've given to this person in a very trusting, natural way. You've given them the benefit of the doubt and that they have used this situation to their own advantage and essentially exploited you. So there's a dormancy here. I feel like other people that may know this person, they're not going to hear from them. I don't feel like you're going to hear from them. I don't feel like you're going to see this person. It's just like, it's almost like they've become, it's like they're ghosting you, right? They're ghosting you is essentially what I'm trying to say here. And I feel that this will go beyond dormancy. I just feel like this person is going to slide off the page and that will be that. Then you won't see what it is that you gave them ever again. Whether that's of yourself personally or whether that's something that you've actually given them materially. Yeah. Down here with Judgment and the Knight of Swords, really interesting two cards here for yourself in terms of the balance, because I feel like your anger and frustration is going to rise up. There's a process that I see here. I think that in the spirit of things, you've really given to this person in the initial stages of the friendship. Right now, you're at the absolute bottom of the pile in terms of feeling like you have been used, abused, and played. And I feel like there is a lot of grief right at the moment for you that you're working through, but that in time you will heal from this and you will rise up in a way where your anger and frustration becomes really pointed in terms of wanting to track this person down. I feel like you're going to do a lot of searching, a lot of researching, a lot of figuring out, trying to lift stones, yeah, that have been unturned, trying to figure out what this person is doing, where it is that they've actually gone. I feel like you're going to raise the red flag here in a way where you're going to spread the news about this person. You're going to tell other people what it is that's happened. You're going to warn other people that this is a situation that they should not let themselves get into. I wonder whether for some of you that this was actually more serious than that as well. And it might be here with Judgment that you're also taking this next level in terms of going down a very official avenue. It could be about reporting this person to the police, or at least formalizing this in a way where, you know, like it's documented in some kind of official capacity, depending on what your situation is. I felt like there was a gravity here with Judgment and the Knight of Swords that essentially what I'm trying to explain here is it's like you're fighting back. You know, like it's like I'm not going to be taken for a doormat. I am going to come back at you with everything that it is that I've got. And in some ways, I don't care what the outcome is, but, you know, you need to pay for this. You know, I need to leave a mark on your name. I need to leave a mark on your reputation. I need to call you out for what it is that you've done. I didn't feel as a sort of, you know, like a long-term outcome that this would get you back what it is that's yours. I don't feel like you'll reclaim anything at that level, but I think in terms of your own personal process that it's really important to have a voice and to say your piece in a way where you can vent yourself and be listened to by other people. I feel like also in some kind of capacity or some form that this does need to be documented in a way that kind of officially recognizes that this person's done the dirty on you. I think as a part of a process, you know, taking back your power is really important in this reading because this person has treated you really badly, right? They have a complete disregard for your feelings. They have a complete disregard for the fact that you've given them something that is of worth. And they have to be accountable on some kind of energetic level that it is rebalanced by you taking back power. Because if you leave this situation as it is at this point in time, it leaves you not only out of pocket, but it leaves you energetically out of pocket, if that makes sense to you. And I feel that a part of your process is one where you need to reclaim your energy, reclaim your power, and that you need to fight back. So I hope this reading has made some sense to you, and if it has, feel free to leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get your feedback. Like and share this video where you can, hit subscribe, tap on the bell icon, that'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. And if you're interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of information about who it is that I am, what it is that I do, and how it is you can access my service as a psychic tarot reader. Thanks very much and take care. Hi everyone, welcome to card number 4. This is your reading and we're looking at whether you can trust this person or not today. So let's jump in and have a look and see what's going on. We're going to start over here with the Lovers and the Knight of Cups. I felt that this was somebody who was very close to you at an intimate level. You know, the Lovers is definitely a card of relationships. Knight of Cups, love being mobilized in a way where it's coming forth into a next level development. I felt that this was somebody who was very close and very intimate, that this could be a lover. There is something about their personality that feels really warm, really loving, very accessible. I mean, this is somebody who gives quite a lot. I felt this was a person who was very popular, who was very friendly, somebody who was very at ease with themselves, who knew how to give from a level of genuine kind of heartfelt yeah, their nature is very natural to me. I don't feel from a face value looking at these cards that there is any kind of cause to worry about whether you should trust them or not. It's gentle, it's accessible, it's warm, it's friendly, it's fun to be around. I feel like their energy has been an energy that almost woos you, you know, like it's sort of, you know, like sweeping you off your feet in some ways. I felt also that this person had made a lot of effort to support you, really had your back in a way where they wanted to be a part of your life, and that they were pushing things forward in a way where they wanted the two of you to be together and to experience something that was really trusting in terms of a next level relationship, most definitely. Down here with the Magician and the Page of Swords, you know, your response to that I feel is slightly on the negative. I feel here with the Page of Swords, maybe historically you've had troubles with relationships in a way where you've never really felt confident to open up and to give over of yourself in a way that gave somebody full access to your heart, to your very personal experiences that really define who it is that you are as an individual. I feel that it's almost like you're coming into this relationship potential on the back foot, that you're thinking negatively, you're wondering whether you can trust them right from the get-go. But that would be based on past experiences leading into this particular experience. I don't feel that this person has given you any signs, any signals in the first instances of leading up to now that has actually given you any cause to really think, you know, you can't trust me. I felt it's almost like you're giving this person the benefit of the doubt. You're trying to switch off the negative vibe in your mind. You're trying not to anticipate the worst, but you're anxious about it at the same time. And I feel that that's in conflict here with the Magician, because the other part of you is just sort of saying from a gut instinctual point of view, give it a go. You know, what have you got to lose? And I felt that you had voiced your doubts, voiced your anxieties, voiced your experiences of the past, that you put them on the table. You can see that here with the Magician, that you're being really upfront, really honest with this person and saying, this is my red line. You know, don't cross it, because if you cross it, there's no coming back from it. You know, once you breach my trust, that's it, because I've had bad experiences in the past. So I feel like you've been really clear with them. I feel like, you know, what the things that irk you about forming relationships, the experiences that you've had in the past, you've been really straight up, and I feel that you jumped into this relationship in a way where it's like, okay, I have reservations. I don't know where it's going to go, but I just need to trust my instincts. Let's go for it. So it's kind of all guns blazing, really, in some ways. You know, there is reservations there, but you're getting over yourself. You're pushing through that, and you're getting into the spirit of things. This person is giving you all these signs and signals that are really warm and receptive and very carefree in many ways. I don't feel like this person, and maybe that's what I'm feeling, is that, you know, this is somebody who finally gives a green light to a potential relationship that actually can be what you want it to be. The Tower and the Seven of Swords. Something's happened. I mean, we're in the here and now, and I feel like something has happened and this person has been caught red-handed. They have done something that has breached your trust, and it feels really obvious. It's like, when you look at it at face value, it's like, hello, like, you have done this in a way that can't be denied. It's like, game is up. There's no way out of this. But you can see here with the Seven of Swords, this person thinking really quick on their feet. They reacted and responded in a way where it's like they are backpedaling into a story that has lots of different reasons, lots of different excuses, lots of different layers that justify why it is that what you're seeing is not what you think that you're seeing. And it's very distracting, because here, when you look at the Tower, everything's just like falling to pieces. It's like, you know, it's really obvious. It's like, you know, a light has been shone on what it is that they are doing here with the Seven of Swords in a way that there is no denying it. But at the same time, this person is really going there in terms of conditioning down the gravity of what it is that you're saying, trying to normalize it in some ways. Perhaps they're also bringing in other people in a way where they're implicating individuals who prop their story up. Maybe they're colluding with other people. I kind of feel this is getting really elaborate in a way where there's lots of twists and turns. It feels very difficult to keep up with what it is they're saying. As soon as you hear what they're saying and you counteract it with your own observations, there's another layer and another layer. And it gets deeper and deeper and deeper into this experience of something that has become very complex and very, very difficult to keep going. But this person's sharp, you know, like, they really seem to be holding on to their stuff in a way where they're not tripping over, they're not faltering, there's no cracks here. There's no cracks here. And when you come down here to the High Priestess and the Seven of Cups, I feel here, what's really tricky about this situation is that I feel like you've got a very strong intuitive process. You can see that here with the Magician, but definitely with the High Priestess. There's a sense here that you really understand an instinctual, intuitive process that not just within yourself, you're reading the signs and the symbols externally to you in a very spiritualized path. I feel like perhaps there's something quite psychic within you that you're able to commune with the other side even. There's just something here that feels very open and receptive to a psychic / intuitive process. I felt here that you didn't know which way was up, because this person's going really hard. They're denying it. They're justifying their position. They are sticking to their story. Their story doesn't have any cracks in it. They seem to have an excuse for everything. And so it's kind of like your own process has gone so haywire in response to that, because this person is distracting you from something that is baseline truth. I feel here that this person is causing you to feel like you don't know which way is up, yeah? Your instincts and your emotions are all over the place. I think here with the High Priestess, you know, like, what's our future together? You know, like, where is this all going? I don't know how I think. I don't know how I feel. I don't know if we've got a future together. Everything's just hanging in the air in a way where it just feels so negative. I also felt like you were trying really hard to glean perspective from other people, maybe looking to friends, family, colleagues, anybody who has got like an objective point of view. And I feel like lots of different people are offering up lots of different points of view. And in some ways that's making it even more complicated. You just got so many different layers of what this person is saying, so many different layers of what everybody else is saying. You don't know what to think, you don't know what to believe. Your trust feels like it's been breached, but you can't see through this clearly in a way that actually gives you just that clarity of trusting yourself. I feel in some ways like you've lost trust within your own process. It's like you've come off track. You know, you lost your own bearings for yourself. This person and what is they've done has impacted really heavily on you. It's scattered your energy. Your energy is all over the place. I feel like in many ways you've lost your power. This person has taken away some power. And that the core of you is unable to operate, you know, and function how it is that you would actually usually move forward, because at the end of the day, yeah, there's a lot of distortion going on is what I'm trying to say to you here. I don't feel that you can trust this person, but I don't feel like they're actually going to give you the truth. I don't feel like this person is going to answer you in a way that says that they did do it. Whatever it is that they've done, I feel like they've done something here. I feel like they've done something behind your back. I feel like they've been caught out. I feel like they are denying it, that they are going into a very elaborate storytelling scenario that is airtight and which you can't find any cracks in. And I feel that moving into the future here with the Devil and the 8 of Cups, I feel that this person's going to do it again. I feel that this person is going to do whatever it is that they've already done, and maybe even something else behind your back. It's like as soon as you're not looking, this person is pulling a shifty move behind you in a way where you can't see it. Here with the Devil, there's a lot of mistrust. There is a motivation to deceive. I feel like this person is putting the relationship with you on the line once again in a way that they need to get a fix of whatever it is that they're trying to get a fix of. I feel that they're prepared to dismiss the integrity of the relationship with you to fulfill their own self-interests. This person is doing something that makes them feel better. I really feel that here with the Devil, you know, like it's a card of gratification. It's a card of needing a fix of something so that I feel like I have power. I feel that I feel better about myself. Here with the 8 of Cups, there's a sense of needing to find something that gives me fulfillment, because I'm not getting it here. I'm not getting it with you. There's something missing here in my relationship with you, and I need to go find it somewhere else. And as they do that, they further erode the trust within you. But I feel there are more stories, more excuses, more denial, more covering up. I feel that this person is ignoring what it is that you said to them right from the get-go, which is to never cross you, to never breach your trust. That it's a repeat of experiences that you've actually had in the past that you brought to this particular relationship, which you were hoping to let go of, to break free of. I feel that this person is selfishly putting themselves first in a way where they don't really care fundamentally how it is that you feel as a consequence of that. So lots of lying, lots of deceiving. And the thing is, if they get away with it again, they're going to do it again, and they're going to do it again, and they're going to do it again for as long as they can get away with it. This person is a storyteller. They know how to twist the truth. They know how to collude with other people. They know how to deceive. This is somebody who at first, I guess, at face value, when you first meet them, seems to be really amazing. I think that dimension of them is. I think what you actually saw in the beginning was a truth of who it is that they are. And you can see here with the 7 of Swords, they're going back to old ways. Yeah, you're not the first person that they've done this to. This is not the first time they've spun these kinds of stories and tried to cover up what is it they've been doing behind people's backs. It's happened time and time and time and again. And as soon as they can find an opportunity to do it, they throw themselves into that mix to fulfill it. Down here with the Hierophant and the 9 of Wands, I felt that this would become a really exhausting process for you. That you would get to a point here in the future where you'd, why am I back here again? You know, I feel like I'm being dragged through it. I feel like I'm being dragged through a process that I don't want to be dragged through. I feel exhausted by a process that is so far from what it is that I want. Here with the Hierophant, which is a card of commitment and the sanctity of loving relationships, it's like this person is really putting you to the test. What are you prepared to use as a baseline? At the end of the day, this relationship is becoming a total drag, quite literally. I feel that this is something that is just so unnecessary, and I feel that you'll get to a point where you'll have to question whether you really want to be in this relationship. And I would say to you that this relationship isn't worth it. If you're looking to use the yardstick of truth and integrity in a relationship, that this person has breached it, and that you don't need to tell yourself to go through this in a way where you give them another chance and get to the other end and to be exhausted and to waste a whole lot of time and energy, to feel that you need to question it and figure out what the truth is. I feel morally and ethically that you have the truth on your side. I feel that at the end of the day, you can save yourself a lot of time and a lot of heartache by trusting your own process. At the moment, there's a lot of dust up in the air in a way that doesn't give you the clarity of that process. I think it's time for you just to kind of let things go and let the dust settle, and not to push into this experience in a way where you're looking for answers just now. You're a person who needs to understand truth from a very core level. And I think that if you give this person the opportunity to continually kick the dust up in the air, that they will use that against you in a way that causes further distortion. And also, I think that it's time for you just to kind of like step back into your power, in your power, in a way where you're not buying into this story. You know, you're not permitting it anymore. You know, you've heard what you need to hear. You don't need to keep on trying. You don't need to further exhaust yourself. What you need to do is to let everything settle down in a way that becomes intuitively clear. And the only way you're going to do that is for quiet time. Let things just slide for the moment and find your truth in the balance in a way where you're not pushing to get the answers. Trust yourself, but trust yourself in time. I hope this reading has made some sense to you, and if it has, feel free to leave some comments down below. It'd be great to get your feedback. Like and share this video where you can. Hit subscribe, tap on the bell icon, that'll give you notifications for any future readings that I post. And if you're interested in the services that I offer as a psychic tarot reader, you can go to www.tonyfoxtarot.com. There's plenty of information about who it is that I am, what it is that I do, and how it is you can access my service as a psychic tarot reader. Thanks so much and take care.